I don't even know how to do anything like that, but
it's a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's like a guy.
You got
It's
somebody
hard to get a hold of.
Okay, all right, but you have somebody in mind that you might be able to find to help you. Okay. You changed me back in April of this year.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? Okay. And you said that Victoria, which I like Victoria too. I like both your names. They're fine. But you said there's too much associated with that. During
Yes.
this whole time, did you change your name to Victoria when you were out in California, or before you went, or
No.
was that later?
Before I went in 2015.
Okay.
And it was around the same time that I was starting self-employment.
Okay.
So I submitted the application in May. I had the hearing in June.
Is that just because you didn't want to have, when you're trying to get a job, you didn't want to be tequila?
Yeah, I just wanted it. I was approaching 30 or had just turned 30. I think I was actually about to be 31 during that time. But I'm like, something different. It's so weird because everything that you find innocent, you realize isn't. Especially.
People can think their own thing. I actually think tequila, and I don't like drink tequila, but I think it's a beautiful name.
Well, I do
But
too.
you're right, people won't understand it, and so you were like, okay, I'm going to change this so that a first impression.
I didn't want it on my paper trail anymore.
Yeah, okay.
And now I love it more than ever. I'm like, I never,
Okay.
I won't even change my last name now.
Okay. And are you in a relationship now?
No.
Okay.
Not sexually active.
Okay. And nobody real special to you right now?
No.
At this point. Do you have anybody that you're around for support, or nobody?
No. I'm completely isolated all the time. So I'm by myself 100% of the time. I go to my appointments. I go and get groceries.
Is that how you would want it to be? Other than, I think you would want rather that wasn't that way with your family.
Oh,
as
yeah.
far as other people go,
yeah.
do you prefer to kind of be alone like that, or are you lonely?
No, I'm normally very social.
Yeah.
I wouldn't prefer it to be this way.
Okay.
But
Right.
for what I'm going through, this is how it has to be.
Okay.
Because if you don't see what's happening to me as something that could also affect you, this could happen to you. It could happen to your offspring. It's a big problem to be tortured for 4 years. So if you don't see it as a problem and want to do something about it, and help work towards that, then yeah.
Okay. All right. So
You know,
like you
it's
don't feel
weird.
like it should involve somebody else, and you don't really think anybody else would understand it, maybe.
I've done a lot of drawing awareness, but I haven't had anyone that took it serious. You get what I'm saying? So they're like, well, money and relationships and going out, and I'm like, I've done all that.
Okay. Yeah.
I need justice.
Okay. And you stopped using marijuana years ago, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And any alcohol now?
Yes.
Wine. You've never been in treatment before, right?
Correct.
Or either. Okay. How many glasses of wine do you think you have a night or a week?
1, 2.
Okay. Usually every night, or just some nights?
Some nights.
How long would a bottle of wine last you, do you think? I'm not a wine drinker.
It depends on what I'm working on, to be honest. Like, sometimes it'll last me a couple days. Sometimes it can last me a week.
Okay. Any history of blackouts in the past?
Never. My brother has those.
Really?
He used to.
Scary.
It is very scary.
Scary
The first time I saw it happen, this is when we were close. Now I don't give a fuck what happens to him. Coronavirus could have killed him and I would have been absolutely fine with it.
Yeah. By the way, did you get the COVID vaccine, or are you going to, or probably not?
I'm not going to get it.
If someone's had it, I put it in so they can follow who we can offer it to if they're starting to give it over there.
Really?
I doubt we're organized enough to be
I was going to say, are they really?
The pharmacy here has one of them that they can actually offer to people if they want it.
Wow.
So we are usually not, bigger hospitals and things like that are the ones who usually do that kind of thing in the health department, but Klein's and CVS, which is gigantic, Walgreens is gigantic, but they do have some of the vaccine that they can offer to people if they want it. But it sounds like you are not going to be getting it, and, which is okay. Everybody has reasons why to or not to, and I just sort of wait and see, and if people want it, we can help them get it.
Have you gotten one?
I did, I got them both. I had Pfizer, so I got it as soon as I could. I am a big believer in vaccines. I'm gonna keep hitting this thing. It's so funny, it's okay, I'll get used to it. I still like it better. I always get the flu shot, because I know it doesn't keep you from getting it, but I had real flu once and was in the hospital, and I'm like, I never want to get it that bad again, so I'm a vaccine kind of person, and I think that it's needed, so I got it as soon as I could. I got whatever they would give me, so I happened to get, no I didn't, I got Moderna. I got Moderna just because they said, oh, health department will let this whole agency, we can go, and then I got it again in 2 or 3 weeks, which was really too early, but I got it when I could get it.
Wow.
That was probably February, and then my daughter got Pfizer, and just because Children's called her, and she has asthma, so she said, well, I asked her if she wanted it, and she said, of course, because she's always been a big vaccine supporter. She got that. We both did really fine. My husband is not getting it.
Okay.
He thinks it's evil.
I do too.
and so I respect that.
Yeah.
He also doesn't understand vaccines either, he said.
Mm-hmm.
But I do understand vaccines as far as like the smallpox vaccines and all those, because that's what I've studied. And so there are risks to everything. And to me, the risk of getting COVID is so high. I have a sister who got it very, very sick and still very, very sick. And I think the risk of that is so much higher to the vaccine that's why I got it. And
right.
So my family's a whole gamut of all kinds of I have a big family, all kinds of political views. Some of them here, some of them here, and I'm sort of more in the middle kind of person. But for me, it was the right thing to do. And I did fine. I didn't get sick from it. My daughter didn't get sick. I have a sister that got sick. You know what? It's different for everybody.
Yeah.
I just feel better. The more people are vaccinated, I feel better for all of us. Even people who haven't been vaccinated, just because I think it will slow down how much that virus is around. And you don't have any other medical issues, right? No.
Correct.
Are you on birth control?
No.
You were not. That was somebody else. You're sexually active. That's your birth control. You're on the best kind of birth control.
Exactly.
If you ever go on medications and you become sexually active, using birth control is really important, just because medicines can cause issues to babies, unborn or after they're born. And so I had that conversation. I might have last time or I might not have, but I feel like if I have that conversation, then it's not going to happen. If the one time I forget that conversation, then I'll have somebody get pregnant, and then we'll be trying to go backwards.
Trash.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
I just realized on the walk I have like some debris on the back of my foot. Yes, on my feet.
Do you want to wait?
Yes, please.
I have it. This one is alcohol based. This one is bleach based. I don't know
alcohol.
Yeah. That would be the better one. I wouldn't want to give you the one that has bleach on it, but that is the one I use sometimes. So
well, you
really
know what?
not on somebody else's skin, but I'm just like.
Oh yeah. I'm indifferent, like since I have a choice though. Like if you didn't have alcohol, I would have took the bleach.
That one, this is the one that won't hurt, like the phone and all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
we've been
okay.
using it so much, so I have a supply of all.
Well, that's good.
So recently, have you? With all of this going on, does it interfere with your sleep, or does it interfere with your ability to eat?
No, my appetite is really good.
Okay.
I make sure I eat. My sleep, I don't always sleep well, but as I said.
Are you scared to sleep ever? Or not? Are you scared to sleep?
No,
not?
never.
It's not that. Okay.
No. There's times, like, I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I had a meeting with Rochelle. We didn't meet till 2 p.m. I've been trying to sleep since 1 a.m. and never got any sleep. Okay, like when
Okay,
I came in here off no rest,
okay.
and you couldn't tell. You couldn't tell it. You know, I
Yeah.
told her I didn't have any rest, but you know, it's disturbing.
So she couldn't, and yeah, I'm thinking on the outside you probably,
I was angry about it.
okay, that you couldn't sleep. Did you feel like they were keeping you up last
Yes, I
night, that
did.
night?
Cursing and spelling, you know, it has a real effect.
Okay,
The arrangement of words.
okay. Well, that would be awful. You said you all are frequently hearing like derogatory stuff and,
Yeah.
and things like that.
Yeah.
If you put on music or a fan or something, did that block it out, or is there nothing that blocks it out? Or if you wore earplugs, would it block it out? And that sounds really silly.
No,
I
it
do
doesn't.
have somebody who would do that. It doesn't seem like it should make sense, but it made sense to her, and when she figured it out, she
Yeah, because it breaks up
started
the
wearing-
space.
yeah,
You know?
she wore them at night to sleep, and it helped her.
Parallel reality.
So have you ever tried that?
Yes, I have.
Okay, does that work for you or not, like earplugs or anything?
It's a tolerance thing, so sometimes I can't tolerate the music because they're like manipulating my auditory, you know, like
Okay.
not auditory, but what is it? The ear. Olfactory. Is it olfactory?
Olfactory is, no, it's auditory.
auditory,
It's
okay.
auditory, yeah.
Yeah, so like the frequency, sometimes they'll make it so that the frequency is really, really high pitched or just dense, and it changes the sound completely.
Okay. Anything to make it go away?
Nope.
Right. And when you are sleeping, when you do get to sleep,
Mhm.
do you feel rested when you wake up, or do you feel not rested?
More often than not.
And do you think your weight's changed much? Is it staying the same?
Staying the same.
And you have food and stuff like that?
Mhm.
Do you have an income through the VA? Or do you
No.
have no income?
No
right
pension, no disability.
now? Okay.
You know, and everybody in the world gets a check. It's like a system. You work and then you get disability. You know.
Yeah. Have you ever applied for disability, or have you ever applied for?
I applied last year just to get rejected.
Okay. I think you told me about that.
Mhm. But as far as this food thing, I do have food, plenty of food in my fridge. But I just recently replaced my EBT card. It should have come yesterday. It may be in my box today, but I have an issue with my neighbor. Like, our mailboxes are side by side. I asked the landlord to move mine to my portion of the duplex.
Okay.
He's been unresponsive.
Okay.
So they go in my mailbox. Like yesterday, I have a sign that has my name and it says not to put K-Bunts mail in my box. Her boyfriend will take her mail, her junk mail, and put it in my box. So I was looking through yesterday, and I have all this Kelly Bunt stuff, you know? And
Yeah.
if you know how parallel reality works, you know how the pineal gland and controlling what you see works. So it's just like a way to kind of escape karmic debt. So they're claiming that I'm someone else.
That you're what?
They're claiming I'm someone else.
Oh.
That's like the basis of parallel reality.
Yeah.
Is like saying that you're someone that you're not.
Okay. Do you ever feel like anyone else is someone that they're not? Is
I
that
feel
ever
like the
cool?
government is using the identities of others, and they're constantly trying to establish a new norm. So that means that this guy that you may know as a crackhead today will be your clerk at CVS tomorrow, or even worse, your doctor.
Okay. Do you ever feel like there's imposters or anything like that, or people who've had those feelings before?
You know, there was a time I called them imposters, but now I know much more, so I could explain it in detail. But so I guess yeah. If someone said an imposter, I knew what they're talking about.
Okay. And I think last time you told me, even with that letter that you wrote, you didn't want to be hurting, and you didn't want to hurt anybody. You just didn't want to be hurting anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had asked you if you had ever tried to hurt yourself. I don't think you ever tried to
Never.
hurt yourself. Do you ever have thoughts like that you don't want
Never.
to be alive, or that you just want it to stop?
I just want it to
Going on
stop. And I don't have anyone but me. I love me way too much, like I never
Which I
do
like that. That's good. We want you to stay around.
I
So,
never do
and we
anything to
want
hurt
to figure out
myself.
what's going on. So, and I know we're almost out of time. I've kept you way too long.
Oh,
I
it doesn't seem like it's been an hour.
I know it has been. It doesn't to me either because you're really easy to talk to, Tequila, and your history is really interesting. And I'm slow at reading this also, but you know what? It's just different, and I think one of the things we talked about last time, I think before you left, and I'll sort of end with this. So I still think I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
I still don't know. I don't ever challenge people and say, no, this is not real, this isn't true, because I don't always know what's real and what isn't true. But I sort of approach it more as if, you had been on Abilify, not in Vega, right? Abilify?
In Vega.
In Vega, okay. And if it did not cause any problems for you, I would like to consider it again. And I guess, I think we talked last time, because I do think there might be some help I think, well, what if you do have some type of schizophrenia? And you did psychology, so you know what schizophrenia is. I'm sure you probably did lots of reading, or you're gonna, or you have, I would think you have. And so we know that we don't always voices don't always go away that people hear. And I don't even focus on doing that. I focus more on how can I help you live through whatever it is that you're living through, because I can't fix the other part. I don't know how to fix the other part. And so if I was just picking something new for you, I love Invega, so don't get me wrong, but I tend to pick Abilify because it has a little bit less side effects for people. But if you were already on Invega and it didn't bother you, I would love to see how your thinking would be, what you would look like on that for a while. And, do you have to? I don't think you have to. Do I think it would be worthwhile? Yeah. And if you were my family member, if you were my daughter, if it were me, I would want to try it. And just because I think the risks of not trying something to help you, if it could, are really high. I don't want it to get to a point where you don't want to be alive again. I don't want it to get to.
I've never had that issue.
Yeah, and I don't want it to ever happen.
It
I don't
won't.
want you to develop. I don't want you to develop depression. I want you to be able to sleep better. And like I said, if we can't get rid of what the voices are saying, can we change something?
So you're saying we should medicate the demons?
No, because I don't think I can medicate the demons. I can't change what somebody else is doing, but I might be able to help change your brain chemistry so that you can not have to listen to that. So, so like when you are sleeping, so people will describe it to me as voices don't always go away, but it kind of hushes them down. So you know what? It's think of kind of like earmuffs, where people don't have to listen to it. It doesn't interfere with their ability to think. And so that's where I think the medicine can sometimes be helpful. And for you, if it does nothing, then we don't have to keep you on it.
So I understand exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
What if I don't have that problem? Like, what if it doesn't keep me from getting done what I need to get done? Why should I treat for a problem I'm not having?
Well, and I guess because if you didn't have side effects to it, I think it's worth seeing. And I think it's worth seeing what, as an objective person, me being outside of all of that, seeing if how you are able to function might be different, see if you're able to sleep, see if you are able to concentrate on things better, things like that. So again, you don't have to.
Okay.
And it doesn't have to be an injection. It comes in a pill.
Yeah,
I think they gave you the injection for.
In 18, I got the pill in 20.
Okay. And so the reason they probably gave you the injection is because you didn't feel like you had an illness, and they were so concerned about you, and your functioning was different. Right now, you're doing what you need to be doing. I would love for you to be able to either be able to get a job at some point and not be miserable all the time from what's happening, or to be able to be on disability, because I think you probably deserve to be on disability. I think, I also see you with so much potential that I would like to see you be able to have a job. So,
yeah.
In the meantime, I'm getting lost in all my thoughts and thinking too far ahead. But I feel like the risks of it are low. I think the judge would like that also, but I don't go by what a judge will like or not, because she probably would like me to put you on an injection last month. I don't work that way. I look at how you're functioning is you're not a threat to anybody right now or yourself, and you just want things to be better. We also have a group called CET, it's called Cognitive Enhancement Training, where it is actually, it is computer based. The people that are over there are wonderful, 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 wonderful. They can help people understand kind of what a diagnosis of schizophrenia would be, or what it's like to hear voices. They have things, they have programs, and a lot of it's games, it's things that kind of help your mind block out the other stuff.
Right.
So, you know, and I don't know if that's something you're interested in or not, or if it would even be appropriate for you or not, but it would be something that's not a medicine.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm looking at what are all the things that we might be able to offer you, but I would love to see how, if we had still had the psychologist, we had a forensic psychologist here who was wonderful, who could do testing for people, so he could do psychological tests, and then he could look at memory, he could look at how someone is functioning and whether they're functioning to their full potential or not, as far as their processing and all that stuff. He'd have been wonderful. He's not here anymore. Because he could have done the testing and said, yep, no, this isn't affecting you, or yeah, these are the ways that, you know, all this that's happening to you is affecting you. Because on the outside we can't tell that, because like we can't tell when you didn't sleep.
Well, check this out.
Like you look just like you're just fine, but you're not feeling fine inside.
No, I mean today I'm okay. Yesterday I felt aggravated behind it.
Sure.
You know,
sure.
But I had too much to do, so I just went on with my task.
Yeah.
But it's so weird, like about that forensic guy that you were talking about. Like, you know, it's weird what DNA has been turned into.
Yeah.
You know, like every year scientific scholars say new studies tell more lies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're just trying to get further and further away from the truth.
Yeah, we're not sure what the truth is.
Characteristics and traits can be tested for in your DNA.
Yeah.
That can be tested for. That's what Gallo and is it Gatlin and Darwin? Yeah, Gatlin and Darwin.
Okay.
This can be tested for and found in your DNA. Characteristics and traits. So you can identify criminality. You can identify self-motivation. You can identify all kinds of things in DNA. So I'm just saying that I'm not doing well with all the lies.
Yeah.
And I'm not pro-medicine.
I know that. I knew that just from talking with you the first time.
And I just.
But consider it. So I had you last time.
Okay.
Consider it.
Okay.
I still think that you don't have anything to lose, I guess is how I look at it, but you may have a lot to gain in how you might be able to deal with what else is going on that I can't change that.
I'll consider.
I can't change that because, you know, it's similar to, and I guess the other thing I would want you to consider, I don't think that alcohol is part of what's going on. I know that drugs can also cause similar things to what you're talking about. You're not using other drugs.
No.
They're probably going to do random screens on you. Anyway,
I have one today.
Yeah, they're going to do that. You already know that. That is not what I think the issue is. But I also, probably for the court and for yourself, I would probably stop the alcohol. And if it's not a hard thing to stop, you know what, it's worth doing.
You know what, last week I went 4 days without, you know. Because if I wanted to, you know, I don't drink all the time. So there's some times where I go periods of time without drinking, like never having a glass.
So maybe make this a period of time. So you know, maybe do that for yourself so that you don't test positive and then get in more trouble with the court. Do it for yourself. Find the reason for you that will work. My reason would be, I want to see your brain with no alcohol for a while, for a couple months. And if you get off early, then fine. If you don't, then we'll have a couple months to kind of see if it does make a difference. For some people, it also helps them realize, oh gosh, I can't stop. I don't think that's the issue with you. I think you're able to stop. I don't think you're drinking large amounts. I've been told before, that's why I kind of say this to everybody, so I think it's worth stopping and seeing how you do. You've already stopped marijuana a long time ago. I definitely think marijuana can make people feel this way. So, you know, we'll see how you are without any of that, and then really consider, you know, anytime you would want to start the Invega, I just think I would want you to do it for you, not for the courts, not for me, but really just to see if this is going to make a difference. And I know you felt like it did not before, but we could sit down and say, you know, we could actually really look at, okay, what is different about your sleep, and really look at it in a different way. Before, you were kind of forced, and that had to feel awful because it sort of fed into probably all the stuff that was going on. But this is more.
I was so mad.
Yeah,
I'm talking about beyond livid, like objection over like treatment over objection. That's
I know
the devil.
Yeah, I don't like it either. Some people need it so that they're not dangerous to someone else or themselves. Some people need it because they are not functioning at all. And so
some people are just being mistreated.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
I'm tired of being mistreated. But I'll do that. So is that what we're going to do? Like, are we going to see what I'll be like with no alcohol for like a month or two and meet? And then, I guess, during this month or two, I'll also be considering Invega?
Absolutely. We'll do a month.
Okay, a month.
Is that okay?
That works.
And then if things change, if you're having nights in a row where you're not sleeping at night because this is so bad, then we need to do something.
And I track all that stuff, so I'll be able to.
If you write it down, there's calendars there. If you want to write stuff down, you can.
Nope, I have a digital journal.
Okay.
So I can.
Okay.
I have
That's good because that way.
Or should I take one of these so you'll have something to look at?
Yeah, you can take. Then I don't have to. Your journal. Take one. Grab one that you like because there's lots of them. I think all the animals usually get
Of course.
Because they're cute, yeah.
Year of affirmation, Greek Isles. Year of affirmation. Secret garden says I have a lot of pretty flowers. Puppies.
There is a puppy still. Kitties go first. Kitties are first, and then there's one that has little baby animals that are like adorable. There's a little baby hedgehog. So we're going to do that, if that sounds okay.
Yep.
And thank you for putting up with all the same questions over again. I tried not to.
That's okay.
I'm a slow typist and I'm a slow reader. Otherwise, it would have been easier.
Oh, this is the same one. Okay. I was like, looking on the back and I'm like,
wait a minute, sand puppies.
Okay, flowers. Oh no. This is so neat how it has the preview. You know? So you know
exactly
what
I know, they're so cute. People like to take them for art projects because they're just
beaches.
Alright, so July 6th, I have a morning 11 or 11:30.
11.
And do you want it to be here, or do you want me to call you on the phone?
It can be in person.
I like in person better. I just think it's.
Well, you get to gauge things that you can't over the phone.
Absolutely. Thanks for putting up with this thing on me. I like this better.
It's nice to be able to see your face.
Yeah.
It has a little glare.
Not that my face is very pretty, but you know what? I do have a face that my family said. There was a joke about a hostile resting face for somebody. Your last name is Oliver. On a TV show called The Middle, and he always joked because I have these lines, and so it can look like I'm mad, and I'm not. I don't get mad. I rarely get mad. So it's kind of funny, and I'm like, okay, whatever. So if you can see my face, I guess you can see more expression, but just know I'm not mad.
Exactly.
If I'm not like close to my
the only thing is, it has a glare. So, did you ever look at me and I was like kind of looking over here?
It's probably
the glare.
I didn't notice, but it's probably like going right.
Yeah.
And you know what? I keep this off sometimes. I don't know if that's worse or better.
Come back close.
Because I keep that off.
Much better.
Okay. Does that bother you when it's like this light?
No. This is how it was the last time I was here.
I don't know if I think that's like it's too bright. This one burned out and I had to beg them to please don't put another light in because I felt like we were on a spotlight and that just.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so I can do this. As I was talking to you, they put a instant message and I have to. It's weird, it's like it will self-destruct. It doesn't self-destruct, but it's just hard to go back and find it. So sorry about that. I have to write down the message or I'll forget it. We don't have to start at front of this. Like, did they do?
Great.
Did they do the Bible?
No.
I'm gonna have them do that. Is that okay? Because I want to make sure the blood pressure and stuff's okay. Did we do it last time or were they busy last time?
They were busy.
Okay, we definitely need to do it today. So this will be a Tuesday. And then I will take this there.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
No problem. It might start raining around here in the class.
I love the rain. I really do.
I'm trying to.
You feel like it, don't you?
Good morning. Does it seem like it's unless something's wrong, then you're fine with it.
Okay.
Okay. Good to see you today, Tequila.
You too. Take care, Dr. Quinn.
Yep, right up on the scale thing. What's the last name?
Oliver?
Oliver?
Yes.
Wait, what was it?
217. Oh, I'll get back on for you.
217.6, I can see. How tall are you?
5'5" and a half.
Okay.